Imagine a workplace where flexibility is no longer an option and employees are expected to be present in the office every single day. For public sector workers in Ontario, this scenario is becoming a reality, and it's sparking heated debates about how it might affect recruitment and retention of talent. Could this shift backfire by driving skilled professionals away from government jobs? Or will it help create a more disciplined and cohesive workforce? Let's dive into what's at stake. In August 2025, Premier Doug Ford's administration announced that all 60,000 members of the Ontario Public Service, OPS, would need to return to working on-site full-time starting in January 2026. This marks a significant change from previous policies, which allowed roughly half of the OPS workforce to work remotely up to 2 days per week since April 2022. The decision has ignited conversations around productivity, employee satisfaction, and the ability to attract top-tier talent. Union leaders aren't holding back their concerns. Dave Bulmer, president of AMAPCEO, the union representing 14,000 professional and administrative staff within the OPS, warns that eliminating remote work could cripple the province's efforts to recruit and retain highly qualified individuals. We're talking about highly educated professionals who have options, Bulmer explained during an interview with Radio Canada. If you take away hybrid work arrangements, you risk losing current employees and discouraging new hires. He went further, stating, "No one wants to join an organization that doesn't offer flexibility." Here's where things get tricky. The Ford government claims its mandate aligns with broader trends across workplaces in Ontario and Canada. A spokesperson for Treasury Board President Caroline Mulrooney emphasized that requiring 5-day-a-week attendance mirrors practices seen in other provinces and industries nationwide. But here's the catch. Does aligning with tradition necessarily mean it's the best approach? Critics argue otherwise. Maria Gintova, an assistant professor of political science and public policy at McMaster University, points out that flexible work arrangements can actually enhance diversity in hiring. By allowing remote work, employers can tap into a wider geographic pool of candidates who may not live near urban centers but possess valuable skills. Moreover, she highlights that remote work plays a critical role in improving work-life balance, a factor increasingly prioritized by modern workers. But what about productivity? Premier Ford insists that having employees physically present in the office leads to better outcomes. However, experts like Gintova counter that there's little evidence supporting this claim. In fact, studies suggest that hybrid models often result in higher productivity levels while boosting morale among employees. So why is the government doubling down on a strategy that some see as outdated? Adding fuel to the fire, Marion Nader, CEO of Nexus Strategy Group and a former senior advisor with the Ontario NDP, offers a provocative perspective. She suggests that scrapping remote work isn't just about increasing efficiency. It might also be a covert attempt to reduce staffing levels through attrition. This isn't really about productivity. It's about downsizing, Nader told CBC News. If true, this interpretation raises serious questions about transparency and fairness in policymaking. Meanwhile, John Fraser, the Ontario Liberal Party's Labour critic, advocates for a more balanced approach. Telecommuting benefits our economy, families, and the environment, he wrote in an email. It's clear that this is the direction the world is heading in. His comments underscore a growing divide between traditionalist views and progressive ideals when it comes to workplace norms. Interestingly, the ripple effects of Ontario's decision are already being felt elsewhere. For example, Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown recently announced plans to require municipal employees to adopt a similar full-time in-office schedule. Even major banks like RBC, Scotiabank, BMO, and TD have implemented stricter return-to-office mandates for their Toronto headquarters staff. As these changes unfold, unions continue to push back. OPSPeople, another prominent union representing provincial public servants, argues that hybrid work has brought measurable improvements in productivity, retention, and employee well-being. They're urging members without formal alternative work agreements to request them before the new rules take effect. So, where does this leave us? Is the push to eliminate remote work a step forward or backward for Ontario's public sector? Will it strengthen teams or drive away the very talent the government seeks to attract? These are complex issues with no easy answers, and they deserve your input. Do you think mandating full-time office work is the right move, or should flexibility remain a priority? Share your thoughts in the comments below.